Wait, let me look that up on the internet real quick.
TagCastPodcast.com.
And now it's time for the Tagcast Podcast with Terry and Gatch. My name's Terry Guile.
I don't like your jerk-off name. I don't like your jerk-off face. I don't like your jerk-off behavior. And I don't like you, jerk-off.
You see, because I paid a lake for weed like in the 70s and I never got the real one back.
You just got Terry.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
And his name is Dustin Gatchell.
I heard in Hawaii, your spam email is your good email.
The Tagcast Podcast starts right now.
When I read people's posts, I have these little, voices I make up for them.
Right.
All these people I don't even know. And
Yeah.
then,
At least when they read yours, they'll know how you're saying it.
right,
Yeah.
word,
Yeah.
word.
You're like, yo, what's up? And it's was up or was happening.
Yeah,
and you read it correctly, like that's how Al said it. Even if he just said it in his head.
Right, yo.
Word, yo. Just don't call him late for dinner.
That's
No,
right.
I've heard a lot of people call you a lot of things. But,
I've been called a lot of things.
All right, let's get this party started.
word.
Hello and welcome to the Tagcast Podcast, episode 26, season 2. My name is Terry Guile. I'm the white guy of the podcast. Across the table here we got,
Indian Carl Gatch.
he's the Indian of the podcast, or Native American as we like to say. No dot on his head. And we got a special guest in the studio of sorts. The studio of sorts. He's a definite special guest. Al Minta, is that correct?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Been a while since I've seen my buddy Al.
Welcome to the show.
Word.
All the way from Salem.
Yep, Salem, Oregon. How are the witch trials going on over there?
It's close. It's close. The verdict is not in yet.
No, it is not.
But I sat in on a couple of those, and I've got to say, the DA is really doing his job on this one. Really
Right
doing his
on.
job.
It's good to know they're looking out for us.
Yeah, he's putting his screws to it really hard. He's got this chair. He's got these screws.
You gotta let it.
You
gotta let us know when the
just like I
burnings
said.
when the burnings go down. I'd like to see them.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about this. I have nothing against women.
No.
But bitches?
Yeah. Witches are bitches. Warlocks are cool, but witches are bitches.
What about...
No, I don't know. Well, I'm going to actually have to step back from that and take another look at it. I kind of like witches.
Yeah.
Now that I think about
What about zombies? Do you watch Walking Dead?
it. No.
What about aliens?
Man, don't get me started on aliens.
What? We just got you started.
Okay, we're getting started because
man.
before we get any further, I'd like to say in the background here we had some We Haves guns going on. They're going to be opening for Floater at the McDonald Theater. I think November.
I don't know.
November 16th or somewhere around there. But anyway, that song
Maybe
was
November
about
7th.
Travis
December.
Walton. Do you know who Travis Walton is? Fire in the Sky. You see that movie where he got abducted by
Fire in the
aliens?
sky. I thought that was Frank Zappa.
And then he was gone for 5 days, and then he came back, and he was all naked, and he had all these stories because he got abducted by aliens. And
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know a guy named Frank.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, this is a story about Frank.
Okay. I like Frank.
He's also a Toltec like myself, yo.
What's
And,
the Toltec?
What?
What's that?
It is a practitioner of the Four Agreements.
Oh, cool.
Word. I better jump off that track because
Well, we can
I'll
come
go on
back
some
to it.
crazy universal tangent. But no, this cat,
Back to Frank.
he really, really puts out these positive energies, and he draws UFOs to himself, and
Whoa.
he's seen Bigfoot. Yeah, man, yeah. Right.
Some people think Bigfoot is an alien.
They do. They think he's another species of alien. I don't like to call him Bigfoot. I call him by his alien and trailer park name.
Sasquatch?
Sam Squanch.
Sam Squanch.
Sam Squanch.
Sam
I
Squanch.
knew it was a Sam Squanch. Trailer Park Boys.
That shit.
Dude, did you hear those guys are coming to Portland again? We'll talk about that later. I want to finish your story about Frank.
And so him and his friend were out in the woods together. He actually wasn't really clear what they were doing out there. I never thought to just not to ask. So I'll stop there.
Yeah. What were they doing? No,
I know, right? And so, anyways, he says that they see this alien ship come down, and his friend runs, and he tries to run. He feels like he wants to run, but he wants to stay. But then he says he feels this total time delay, like memory lapse or something, like that, And that's his thing, man. He said he sees Sam Squanch, and he's really into that. But I don't know, I respect people's beliefs. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm a big into love type of guy, I guess.
We've talked about the Sam Squanch before and whether he is real due to the fact that they've never found a dead one anywhere. What do you think about that?
If he's an alien, wouldn't he be visiting and leaving, yo?
Yeah. He just comes.
True.
They're a lot like, we need to find hair samples. Like, you don't think he cleaned himself? Like, it's the alien we're talking about.
He covers his ground.
Flies and shit.
Yeah.
This is like...
And some people don't know that he just might be blurry. All these blurry photos, maybe he is just blurry. Maybe he crosses dimensions at the same time.
Word. I never thought about that, man.
Yeah.
But what I do think is that he's well groomed.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, and obviously he's got a bitchin' pedicure because on all his big feet, like, there's never any, like, toe marks. Like,
You're right.
Or toenail,
mark.
yeah.
It's like, is this
So he's trimming at least once every 6 months.
Or he could be very flexible.
Yeah.
What if he is a Sam Squanch,
What if he doesn't have toenails?
Whoa. Now that's a fucking concept right there.
Yeah.
Well, then he probably wouldn't be mammal, and be on this planet. I mean, it's kind of like...
Well, he's not going to be...
Man, I mean,
he doesn't need protection from swinging hammers.
Right. Well...
Who swings hammers with their feet?
I've learned...
No, isn't that what your toenails...
He lose the toenails on his fingers.
Isn't that what the toenails are for, so you don't smash them with hammers?
Aha. And then they just fall off anyway.
Yeah.
No, but I've learned from the jerking commercials. Commercials. Don't fuck with Sam Squanch. Messing with Sam Squanch. Yep. They should change that to Sam Squanch for beef jerky commercial.
They should.
It's like Chewbacca.
They should.
But they won't because they suck. But back to the Trailer Park Boys, who I'm glad to hear that you're a big fan of theirs. I've got to see those guys twice in Portland. They come and they do like a 3-hour show. It was Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles, and then Leahy and Randy Skyped in. I'm sure it was pre-recorded and it was all planned out. But they basically do improv, and I saw it twice within 6 months of each other, and it was kind of the same show. But they do like an hour and a half, take a half-hour break, come back, do another hour. It's just incredible. And now they're coming back with Leahy and Randy, but tickets were $56 and sold out in like 3 days. Mm-hmm. And it's at the Portland Center for Community Arts or whatever it is, and it was like, what did we say? It holds 880,000 people. But it's not 880,000.
Wait, did you say
880?
880,000?
Well, he says 1,000, but that's not really true because he's in.
How many people are there?
880,000. No, see, he always says 1,000.
I like that word.
He's being a funny Indian. I couldn't believe they sold 880,000 tickets.
That was a lot of tickets.
In 3 days.
How many is that per day?
That's like a lot.
How's that? Does that have an odor to it?
What?
The microphone thing you got there.
No, actually,
it should smell like Coors Light from last week.
As I saw it out of the corner of my eye, I automatically thought of clown.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a clown nose.
There's a clown like this
in my face.
Do you have a fear of clowns? Some people have a fear. Or they don't like clowns.
I don't live in fear of anything.
Yeah, I'm not saying
nice
fear,
answer.
but do you like clowns? Or do you not like clowns?
honestly, it's not something I really sat back and considered.
All right. Well, that's an answer.
Like, what is your reference to clown? Are you talking it clown?
Well,
Are
no,
you-
it's just
Any
some
clown.
people. Some people don't like clowns.
Some
at all.
kids are scared of clowns.
Well, yeah, because that's all.
And
like,
adults-
they
some
think
adults
of, like,
are scared.
The it clown. Like I was talking to my buddy the other day, Gary Barnes.
Shout out, Gary Bonds.
Well, that's what I just call him, Gary
Uh-huh.
Barnes. I call him by his full name.
Is he Gary U.S. Bonds? You remember that dude?
No,
That's a singer from the 80s or something.
Is it?
Gary U.S. Bonds.
sounds like an advertisement for like the military.
It's a dude.
I thought it was an advertisement for one of those. I'm gonna buy your gold.
Gary U.S. Barnes.
He's a black dude, and he's a singer.
No, Gary Barnes is what?
Okay, well,
Okay.
Gary U.S. Bonds is black. But anyway, you have a friend named Gary Bonds.
Barnes, I think, right? Gary Barnes.
Yeah, like the building
Oh, okay.
that you
Oh.
keep cattle and stuff in.
Okay, sorry. My
I
bad.
heard cattle.
Word. But I don't even remember.
You were.
Oh, wait, yes. So I was like, and if you guys don't like it, we can just leave.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's what we tell everybody. If you don't like it, you can just leave.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, usually I use that little line right there to give me a chance to like kind of reflect on what I was talking
I
about.
thought you were being totally...
So the other people would be all like,
Yeah, I was trying to relate it to the
right,
story.
right, yeah, like totally.
If you don't like it, you can just leave.
And
So I was talking about U.S. Gold, like advertisements. We were talking about advertisements.
no, that was like
Oh, it was
after the
before
fact we
that.
brought up.
I was talking about Gary U.S. Bonds. What are you talking about?
No,
U.S.
yeah,
Bonds?
that's, I brought up his.
Sam Squanch.
Yes, that always brings us back to Sam.
How about Incest Fest?
What happened there? Is that a note you have?
Yeah, I just wanted to...
How about incest?
yeah. Now,
Segways are us.
last year there was there was a music festival at the Wow Hall called Incest Fest, and what it was 4 bands who all had members in the same bands.
That is sick.
So it's kind of incestual. But there's this place in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they had to change their name from the Incest Fest. They had a social event called the Incest Fest. And that's a bad name, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
I think it's a bad
Incest Fest.
Well, I know. I don't know. Well,
people have weird senses of humor.
It was at Harvard University.
Like some kind of like sweet home
Harvard.
thing?
No, Harvard, dude.
No, I'm just saying. Isn't like
Yeah.
sweet home.
That's an
kinda
incest
like-
fest for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, I mean, bring it to the people, man. Like, let them people have that stuff.
They said the reason they named it that is because the Kirkland House residents they all hook up with each other so much that it's kind of like incestuous.
Kind
But-
of incestuous.
But they're not really
No,
related. They're
that's
like frat
not-
brothers.
That's not.
you know.
No. I'm sorry. That's pretty
That's a bad name.
far from a.
So they're changing
But
it.
incest isn't the worst thing in the world.
I
though.
think that's just called friends with benefits.
it could be
what they're doing,
necro-incest.
You know.
Ooh, what's that?
Necro-incest.
Fucking your dead sister?
Necro-incest, yeah.
Dude, that's
That's
sick.
worse than incest. I'm just saying incest isn't the worst thing in the world.
No, I mean, well, I don't know. I guess it's where you're from. Obvious catch, you know.
What are you from, Sweet Home?
Mississippi. No, I'm just playing.
He's from the Indian
You are
country.
from Mississippi, aren't you?
I am aren't from Mississippi. What?
No, you are, in fact, from Mississippi, right?
No.
He's-
I moved here from Missouri. I actually went.
That's
That's
close.
what I meant. That's what I meant.
Dude.
You know, I'm a West Coaster. You know, all the misses are the same. Give me, all right. Apparently, that's
Missouri.
I don't mean to insult you.
You did.
Well,
No.
come on. Word? Oh, I'm actually from Connecticut.
I don't know. I'm not a geographical
From where?
person.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
And, but I lived in Missouri for like a huge portion of my life. Man.
Joplin, as a matter of fact, right?
That is correct.
I have a friend.
That is correct.
My wife's good friend lives in Joplin right now. That's weird.
Really?
Yeah. Her name is Gina Ermentrout. Shout out to Gina. Hope you're listening down there in Joplin.
Word.
But I doubt it. But I send her
I
things
don't
on.
know, man, because I don't know. My mom and dad might listen to this.
Yeah. we'll try not to cuss anymore.
I bet my nephew Dylan would be listening. I bet.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dylan?
What's going on? Howdy in Joplin. Now,
Yeah.
you formed a festival over there at one point, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Right on.
I got busted for possession of marijuana, and got the crap beat out of me out front of my house, man. And it was really crazy. And this happened in 1998. And So I went to trial, and I told the judge that I really felt that the physical violence that was put on me was like punishment enough. You know, I was like, I think you guys got what you wanted. You got like self-satisfaction at least, you know. And I really feel that these, you know, charges should be dropped, like, or at least like charge me or whatever, dude. But don't find
Your
me.
sentence is we've already beat the shit out of you.
Word. No, I mean, yeah, right.
Kinda.
I mean, I'll do, you know, I'm all about the community anyway. I mean, dude, I'll do community service. Like, I'll go pick up some trash. Shit, I do that anyway, man. And so, no, he fined me like a jerk. I don't even remember this judge's name. So I went home, and of course, the cops ransacked my house, and they were so brilliant that they looked in my freezer. No, actually, they didn't look in my freezer because that's where I had like a bunch of fucking weed, right?
Yeah.
And so I took my shit out, and I'm like smoking this big spliff in the bathtub, and I'm like,
I love that.
This was wrong. Like, I felt pretty I felt F-worded, man. And so
F'd up.
yeah, man. And so I was just thinking in my head, like, you know, I'm a Marine. You know, I've like myself and other, people who've been in the service. You know, we fought for this country.
Yep.
I'm just leaving it at that. But
And once a Marine, always a Marine, right?
Rah.
Yeah.
Always. And,
Yes.
you know, and that's the glorious thing about the Marine Corps, you know. I mean, everybody thinks like they're a bunch of hard asses, but I tell you what, we're the most loyal and caring people in the world. I mean, that's, Semper Fi, always faithful. Like, I will never leave you hanging if you ask me to be somewhere. Like, you know. Well, anyway.
Remember that, everybody.
Yeah, word.
Call
yeah,
Al.
right. If you
can call me
move,
Al.
I literally have helped thousands of people move just because they know if they ask me, I'll be there.
And you've got a truck.
We're more of a little surf mobile.
Yeah.
You know? His name is Charlie the Tough Truck.
All right.
So I sat in the tub and I said, yo, something must be done. And I jumped out of the tub, went into the living room, and I was like flipping through the phone book and looked for Park and Rec. And was like, yo, I want to put on a festival, legalization, not a legalization festival, but an educational festival about hemp, medical marijuana.
Right.
All the good stuff. And so there was this big, huge thing about it. I had to go in front of these people, this board, and we had this huge discussion. And I won't tell you about it. But anyway, I was over at my friend's house, Jefe. And me and my little brother are there, and we're like bombed out of our mind, right? And like we're like hotboxing the block, and and Hefe's like, "Do you have somewhere to be today?" And I was like, "What is today?" And then he's like, tells me, and I was like, "Holy cow! I'm supposed to be at that meeting." So me and my little brother run, and we like jump in my truck, and we like we go to the meeting, and we run inside, and we're late, and I'm a long-haired,
Tattooed surfer dude.
dark surfer guy.
Yeah.
And with a smile from ear to ear. And I'm all like, hey, and I'm like, I'm not too late, am I? And they're like, you're interrupting somebody. And I was like, oh, word. So I sat down. I waited my turn.
Excuse me.
But as I waited and watched everybody's turn, I kind of saw how they did stuff.
Right.
So I talked to them. I had to, I was, doing everything properly. They made fun of me. It was funny.
Yeah.
But you know what? I totally stuck up for myself because I'm that guy. Like my father always told me, if you have strength, you give it to somebody who doesn't. And if you have a voice, you use it for people who haven't found theirs yet.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're hooking and jabbing, man. And so they say, no way. You cannot have a free festival in the park. I was like, okay, fine. Went home, started calling Normal, National Normal.
Right.
And they're like, got me a hold of this cat named Dan Vietz in Missouri. And this dude, he's a lawyer, and he was also the president of Missouri Normal at the time. And so he calls me back in like 15 minutes. And he's like,
They're all for that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you got
Very
your festival.
active.
He's like, you've got your festival. And I was like, wow, how did you do that? And I guess, he made maybe not a thread, but I guess, let them know that,
he's done his homework. He'll make it a hassle for him if they really want to go to it, and he'll win.
He's that guy, though.
Yeah.
Dan Vies is an amazing man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And-
the activists for normal are very,
word.
they're very diehard activists.
Word. Well, I mean, and this was the beginning of our friendship, me and him. And I always represented myself. I've been through several cases and won so many cases. I'm like, not a lot, but I purposely, the 5 years that after the first year, every year, I purposely, after my probation was up, I purposely would smoke in public so I could get busted and be put on probation again. But this time, I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And so I would use that platform, to get off. And, and just they're like, okay, you're on probation. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Because I'm a smart guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get busted.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you want to.
Word, right? So anyway, and so I put that on, and it was a blast.
Was it like some hip-hop bands or some...
we started off at noon with acoustical stuff.
Uh-huh.
And as the day progressed, we got a little funkier, a little fishy, a little deady, and then
jam bandy,
right? And we wrapped up with usually some pretty heavy metal, or we would have a headlining band. There were some bands in the area that were really, really great bands, like So Far Gone, Fen. I could actually, the list is the length of my arm.
Yeah.
I could list you all the bands I'm still such a fan of, today. And I listen to them all the time. But unless we had one of those guys play to headline, then we'd let them close it out. But it was from noon till 10 at night. It was like a red Christmas. The first year I put the first one on in 2 months. Approximately 250 people showed up.
Wow.
But
nice.
it was really cool because the cops showed up.
Oh.
But
it was all legit.
Yeah, and I was like in the middle of a know your rights speech.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, oh,
hello.
perfect.
Yeah.
So I run down there, man, and I'm all like, well, you got to stop right here, man. And they're all like, excuse me? I was like, today, this is my yard.
Yeah.
This is my yard today. See this piece of paper in my hand? This is a permit. I said, and if you guys take any steps closer, I will have to call the police on you. And he was like, you're going to call the police on us? I said, you're damn straight I will. I was like, this is my yard. We as Americans can freely be here. We can say what we want. We can, we can freely assemble, my friend. So what do you want?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we want to walk through your crowd. I said, no, you may not. No, you may not. And he's like, can we stand here? I said, hell yeah, man, because you're on the edge of the park. I was like, that's not my part of my yard.
Yeah.
That's like where I put my trash, and it's public property now. So do your stuff, right?
It's recycles now. It's recycles.
Right. I mean, and then and why don't they, when they're doing nothing, instead of being parked beside each other, talking and shit, why don't we give them these bags where they pull over and pick up some damn trash?
Yeah.
Let's co-op jobs here. Anyway, I was just thinking that just the other day. I saw 4 of them all just huddled together. It's crazy.
Go arrest some crackheads or something.
Yeah, do your job, son. Man. Why you're busting me for improper name change?
Speaking of all that stuff and the hemp awareness and stuff, you guys are probably aware of ballot measure 80 coming up real soon. And I don't know if you've heard, but in Washington, it's the closest it's ever been. They're predicting that it might possibly pass for recreational, which will let you grow 6 plants with no permit whatsoever. If you're an adult, you can grow that many plants.
Nice.
And my dad was so pissed because he's an activist as well. For any listeners that don't know, NORML stands for the National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws. Go check them out if you're an avid person, or even if you're not, you should be. But the cops are trying to come against this ballot measure because they think that it'll make it too hard for them to bust people. They're like, well, we'll have to be checking people's permits to make sure, or whether they don't have a permit, or there's no way to test them if they're driving under the influence, which they call drugged driving now. On the ballot measure, my dad was reading it to me. It's called drugged driving.
Drugged driving?
Yeah, that's hard to say.
I mean, they're like, you know why I pulled you over, son?
Drugged driving.
Drugged driving. What did you say, officer? Drugged driving. I was drugged driving.
Is it drunken or drugged?
Are you saying drugging? Are you playing?
So yeah, I'm hoping it'll happen, but I'm not holding my breath because I just don't think it will happen. But they say it's very close for Oregon and Washington. Colorado, even closer, which they've been behind it way longer. A lot of the activists move there because they know it's the air is crisp. There's lots of snowboarding and good stuff up there, and I think they have the most dispensaries at this point, don't they? Colorado, yeah. So hey, I don't do it because I'm jaded against the system. But go out and vote. Yes on ballot measure 80, and no against drugged driving.
I know, right? Drugged driving. No, but when
You were going 7 miles per hour. No.
You were going 7. They're gonna have to put like speed up in school zones.
Exactly.
Like the kids are running into the cars.
Yeah.
We've got a really big problem.
Please go at least 25.
No, I kind of dropped out of the activism phase when I moved here.
Yeah.
I moved here with my ex-wife. When we were married, and when I first moved here, I had an opportunity to speak at the Hemp Fest.
Yeah.
They invited me up to speak.
Is that in Portland?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Seattle.
Seattle.
It was in Seattle.
Wow, the Seattle Hemp Fest. Okay, cool.
So, because my lawyer was going to be there, and Jack Hara,
Rest in peace.
Not a close friend. I'm not even going to act like that. But he wrote me a letter. That's how we met. I read his book. He sent me a bunch of his T-shirts, his books, and really cool stuff. So we knew each other, and it was really neat to go up there. But I was with, like I said, my ex-wife. She was here on an internship, which she is now very successful. She's doing so well.
What does she do?
She's a child psychologist.
Wow. I know one of those. That's a good job.
No. She's such a loving and such a caring person.
I mean, if you get the right person in that role, it's just awesome. When you find, especially, I don't know why, but women, best in child psychology.
That was pretty fucking sexist, son.
I don't know why. They're better with against men, though. It's better. They just, I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. It just seems to me the babies come out of the women.
Yeah. So they have a natural more connection there.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. No.
I just got called on being sexist.
Damn it, man. But as you guys know, one of the things I love to do is work with the autistic.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at it. I've been told a couple times that I'm not very good at it. And
yeah.
I mean,
I
don't
doubt
think
that.
sex has anything to do with the level of love or anything like that.
Oh well, yeah, I didn't.
Well,
mean that,
no,
but
yeah, but you're not their maternal.
Well,
mother
she's not
or
their.
father, though.
No. He's
She's
talking
not-
to
yeah.
psychologists.
Yeah, I mean, they're not either.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Oh no,
Yeah.
guys! I'm not standing here trying to or sitting here naked.
Yeah.
Trying to tell you guys
Naked, it's hot in here. We have excuses for that.
that I want to be right.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I think that you probably are. I just know more child psychologists that are women, but
Well, word. No. I can see that because
Yeah.
there's a big calling for that.
Yeah,
man.
for
I
sure.
mean, they do have that maternal instinct. I know what you're saying,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
But
anyway, I probably cut off your story. You were talking about your friend who's a child psychologist.
no, my ex-wife. No, she is my friend. There was nothing. We're still really good friends.
That's always awesome when that can happen.
Oh no, I don't know why it doesn't happen.
I have friends that are
we
just
loved
like
each other
vicious.
once, and
with-
we.
I have friends that have had bad breakups and they're just vicious and
Well,
it's terrible.
Well, matters of the heart. It's people take it personal because it is.
I'm
It's
pretty
not
good.
personal. But you know what? I mean,
I'm pretty good friends with all my exes. Just
but
because.
there's nothing anybody does on this planet because of you, and you don't do anything because of anybody else. So I don't take things personal.
Right.
I think it's ridiculous too, especially to take yourself personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be all like, did I really just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, dude. Live with it. You
Yeah.
know, like
It's-
accept it.
it's
And if those
history.
people around you take it personal, well, that's their bag, baby.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
But no, we get along great. She's awesome. She's a surfer too. So my daughter is really, into that.
Sweet.
Yeah, we just started teaching her.
I saw some pictures on Facebook. You guys going out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool. That was very cool. Very
Word.
cool. I was like, wow, it's a little owl, and she's out there doing it.
Don't say that, poor thing.
Well, no. I mean, in the surfing aspect.
Word.
I didn't mean she was.
Mother is
I didn't mean she was a 41-year-old man
Or that I look like a little girl.
that sets naked in our studio,
Do I look like an 8-year-old girl to you, Ted?
only in the dark.
Really? I don't know. I'm pretty bumpy.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But I think my body would give it away.
yeah. I can't see well in the dark anyway.
Me,
Things just got really weird.
I know, right? Well, unless we would be like in Clevelandstown, man, because they have so many rolling blackouts. They developed night vision or mole vision, did they call it?
Who did?
What?
In Cleveland.
You know
The rolling brownouts, blackouts.
and did you ever see Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, Break Off? Cleveland?
Oh, the Cleveland show, yeah.
Yeah. Is there an echo in here? Or does
The Cleveland show?
or does he want a cracker?
Well, I haven't watched.
echo chamber.
I haven't
Echo
watched it
chamber.
religiously. I've seen a couple episodes.
Religiously.
I'm not really
Can you talk like Cleveland does?
a Cleveland fan.
I don't know, Peter.
I'm not a big fan of Cleveland. You have a sick mind.
Someone told me I rock.
Oh,
And isn't that pretty much like the Jeffersons of the Family Guy?
Is it?
where'd that piece go?
You know, you had like All in the Family, and then all of a sudden he had a black neighbor, and then all of a sudden the black neighbor had his own show.
Guess so.
You got
So
No,
then-
yeah, the Jeffersons was a breakoff from All in the Family.
Well,
Yeah.
who on All of the Family was Giggity Giggity Goo?
Who was the Giggity guy?
on All in the Family.
You know, I think the Giggity came out in like with Jack Chipper, like Larry, the roommate.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I mean, when
Yeah.
I think
That
type of- I loved that show when I was a kid, yo.
Come and knock on our door. You could still catch it at 1 a.m. on TV Land almost every weeknight. I watch it sometimes when I can't
Really?
sleep. Yeah, TV
When
Land.
you can't sleep.
Yeah,
You know what I do when I can't sleep?
masturbate.
No.
No. No. Okay, sorry. Things just got weird
Well,
again.
I'm in my bed.
You know what you-
like, where am I going to finish up?
What I do,
Do I have to get out of bed? Do I stand up? Do I just roll over and do it on the sheet?
is there a
Like,
sock
and just
next
sleep
to your
on the other
bed?
side?
Maybe I don't know.
A sock?
No, maybe you maybe you
TV
read.
Guide, dude.
No.
TV Guide.
See, on the TV, I don't have
Well,
a TV
because if it's Tuesday, you don't need the Monday section anymore.
Just rip it out. No, what do you do?
TV Guide isn't absorbing.
If I want to fall
Nor is it
asleep,
like a big enough surface. I mean, do I have to? I'd have to like stand right above it and do.
Don't
those
do it on the
downward
Cheers and
pushes.
Jeers section.
truly, if I want to fall asleep, I'll read.
You want to do it right on the
word.
8
Even if
o'clock
it's
time.
interesting to me, I'll within a half an hour I'll start.
Yeah.
Especially if it's dark in the room and I'm reading.
Word. I throw the corpse pose on, man, and then
I do the corpse pose sometimes. Like
No, I don't cross my hands. But
I do that sometimes just to kind of get centered. And if I can't
word.
sleep, I just start breathing deeply, like I'm already asleep, and kind of bring myself into that state. Because I'm usually really stoned at that point. I ate a brownie yesterday, and I fucking felt like I was tripping balls at the end of the night. And my dad put a
Really?
it was it's the first time I ever really got high off of a brownie. It was pretty awesome.
Well,
I've had them before, but never really got off on them.
Me either.
really?
Yeah, and all my friends are like,
I
only
don't
eat
very
half.
I don't eat them very often, but I.
I'm going to bring you one, dude. I want to bring you one, and I want you to eat it, and then I want you to tell me what happens.
I went to the drive-in in Webb City, Missouri, and watched Tarzan, and made like 24 Toll House cookies, and like, you know, those ones that you can make at home and mix it up, man. And I slow cooked them. I put so much in them. And,
Are you talking about the Legend of Greystoke Tarzan?
No, I'm talking cartoon Tarzan. And it was funny because I had dreadlocks. at the
Seriously, cartoon Tarzan?
time. Yeah, dude.
Awesome. At
So-
the drive-in, okay.
Yeah, and so like we're eating these like on the way there, and we're just like, this is gonna be so much fun. And then we're like there, and we're like eating them like they're nothing because we're not smoking,
cookies.
you know.
Yeah.
And we're just eating, and the movie's over, and I'm like, that was the coolest movie in the world, and I'm like a cutoff guy, you know. I wear cutoffs, man. And
Yeah.
this time, it was the first time that I had dreadlocks. I walked to the concession stand, and this little kid goes, "Look, mommy, it's Tarzan!" And all these kids were all like, "It's Tarzan!" And then so I'm all like, I started doing like this and jumping around, like I'm a gorilla, man. And these kids loved it, and it was so much fun, dude.
That's awesome.
And then I
That's
sit up
sweet.
and went and ordered food, and everybody was like, "Oh, are you going to do pictures after your break?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, I'm not like some dude who comes and follows the movie around. I'm
I'm the hype guy.
Yeah, I'm not on a break. And
I'm the real-life version of Tarzan.
yeah, I was like, I'm wearing cutoff jeans. I'm like, really? You know, because I work construction, and you know, at that time of the year when it starts getting hot, dude, I just cut off my jeans. Like, I don't mess around. By the end of the summer.
Do you use like a radial saw for that?
No.
Scissors, dude. Scissors.
Scissors, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Scissors.
I thought you just took them and went just as you were wearing them with the.
I'm skilled with the saw. Don't
Yeah.
get
I saw a guy open a bottle of beer with a chainsaw.
Really?
Bing!
Yep. Didn't even knock the beer bottle over.
That would be pretty cool.
It was on a video, but it was real.
Still.
But cutoffs are awesome, but by the end of summer, you wash
They
them
get shorter.
and they get so short. And this one dude
And
I
then they
used to
turn
work
into
with,
hot pants.
This old guy goes, Al, I got to talk to you about something. I was like, what's up? And he's like, you got to stop wearing those shorts to work. And I was like, why? And he was like,
'Cause your balls
I
are
have seen your dick like 6 times a day. I said,
What?
okay. I said, man, you know what?
Why are you looking at my dick?
Exactly. I was like, dude, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you because you're older, man, and I understand. But who's the freak here, man? The guy who's like working and not worried about where his dick is, or the guy who keeps eyeballing his dick? I was like,
You saw it once.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't look in the
So-
area.
yeah.
Like,
I can't believe it's out again.
I know, right? Like,
I can't
Hey.
believe there it is.
4.
again.
hey, are you guys seeing this over here?
Dude, look, that's the
Every time I look over every 15 seconds.
that's the 5th time I've looked at his crotch and seen his penis. I don't know what the deal is. That's a good one.
All right, if I see it a 6th time when I look over there right now, I'm going to go up and talk to him about it.
Yeah, not 5. Did you know that I've seen your penis 6 times today? I
He
mean,
was an
flash
old
your penis
guy.
5 times, shame on you. See it 6 times, shame on me.
It was terrible.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
I work at this fencing company, and he was like, when I first started working with him, we got in the truck, and I was like, what? I was like, oh, hell no, son. And he's like, what? I said, man, we got to talk to the boss. Like, someone can't be bringing their dogs up in these fucking trucks, man. Like, that's some bullshit. It's stinking here, man. So roll down your fucking window. So he rolls down his window, I roll down mine. It's like, this is February. It's cold, man.
Yeah.
And it's raining and shit. And I'm like, roll down your, I can't take this shit. Like,
It was
it's
dog smell, wet dog.
totally, right?
Yeah.
So then we're at work, well, dog smell and like touching cloth, maybe? You know what I'm saying? Prairie dogging, I don't
yeah.
know, man. But
Yeah,
like,
we know
leaving
all
the
about
mark,
that.
like the prairie dog who fell down and then looked up at the hole.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
touch somebody's like white dress as they walked by. I don't
Yeah.
know, but right, exactly.
I know.
Thank you. But yeah. So we get to the job site and we're talking to the owner of the house, and I'm standing by this homeboy, and then it just dawns on me.
It's him.
It is exactly. I said, man, I thought to myself, that is terrible, Al. Like, you know what? That was, man, you must have made him feel terrible.
Yeah.
So, I never said anything ever again. But I would show up to work a little earlier than him, and I run in and grab the keys, go start the truck up, and like roll down the windows, and I went and bought a bunch of those Axe sprays.
Yeah.
And because
Be
I was
pimping.
trying everything, dude.
Oh, I know.
Like I did the Febreze. I was like, I want to fuck this smell up. And I was all like, cause like, hey, let's put these strangers into a gym room
Yeah.
where guys are like, would you imagine if
Yeah.
it was like in the, like some kind of filming of like some
You
sadistic
should
like
do some
porn or
commercial.
something. And there's like semen dripping from the walls. And
It
it's like
smells funny in here.
formerly the set of Two Girls, One Cup, and it's just a terrible place, man.
Yeah.
And like the Febreze should cure it, right? These people don't know where they're at.
So it didn't work?
No! It was like,
unkillable.
Febreze was like, I'm Febrezing my ass out of here, son. Like, this ain't working. And not even this
Roll
one didn't
down the
last.
windows still. I'm Febreze.
And he even said to me, why is my seat wet? Because he was old, dude,
Yeah.
like old dude. And I was all like, because sorry, man, I rolled down the window.
I spilled a bottle of Febreze on it.
Yeah.
And then, like, never said anything about me trying to do the smells in there. But, I really didn't want to say anything ever again to hurt the guy's feelings, because I'm not that cat, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a Febreze. I was an axe packing motherfucker, man.
Yeah. You
My
probably
girls
had the
would be all
bitches
like,
up on you.
You smell good. And I'd
Yeah.
be all like, girl,
You don't even
Get closer
know.
to me and smell the ass of my clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's my ass, but it's that seat's ass.
But
Like, that
sometimes,
seat's
like,
had
a
some ass
really
in it.
rank smell mixed with, like, an axe gives a really great smell.
Yeah.
Like, some chicks are like, oh, I love it when I can just smell a little bit of your BO and a little bit of axe. Just like the ultimate mix of, axes get the bitches, just ask Lance Dill.
Really?
Really?
Our neighbor here, our podcast neighbor. You know Lance, right?
Oh, word.
LT? Yeah, bass.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Singer of Grief Hammer as
I
well.
did not know that about Axe.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was my
Like, I only wear it as
Like, my
underarm
great attitude.
deodorant. I don't do any kind of spray on or colognery or aftershave. I just do the underarm thing. But that
Yeah.
axe is so strong. Like, when I used to do karaoke a lot, I'd have, like, older cougar ladies go. They just come up and get ready to put in their song for karaoke, and they'd be like, man, you smell good. And I was like, what kind of cologne are you wearing? I'm like, I'm not wearing cologne. And they're like, you're wearing something. And I was like,
You'll be
deodorant?
wearing me later on tonight. That's what they were thinking, Terry.
Hi-oh! No, underarm deodorant.
damn.
Yeah. And then my wife comes in and said, bitch, step the fuck back.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, well, tell you, you're a handsome
Unless you
guy.
can come home with the both of us.
You're a
Yeah.
handsome guy, man.
Well, thank you.
Well,
You're
these are
handsome
gilfs we were
yourself.
talking about, right?
Grandmas I'd love to fart on.
Oh, you know what?
Gilfos.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, that's some pretty deep stuff right there.
Hey, you got kids, right? And you've had kids that grown up,
I
and
do have
you ever buy your kid a doll that like has a pull string that says something funny like, "Oh, I love you," you know, or something like. You ever have those as a kid, or as you as a
and
kid?
you mix master that thing?
No. I got a story here that's really funny. There was a kitty toy. It's called Catch Me Kitty, and you pull the string, and this mother of a child is sure that it says, "Chase me, rape me."
Well, what's it really say?
The company had no comment. So maybe,
really?
maybe that's what they're really saying. But this was in Sandy, Utah. I'm sure this lady was probably a Mormon. I shouldn't be so stereotypical, but
Utah?
yeah.
Dude.
She's
I
from
know
Utah,
some-
and
I
they
know
got
some
a-
people in Utah. I
Are
know.
they Mormons?
So the Chase Me, Rape Me Kitty, Catch Me Kitty, apparently if you can get it before they take it off the, she said, I opened it and let my daughter play with it for 2 times, and then we put it away, and I called authorities because it says, Chase Me, Rape Me.
Did they have a lyrics in the liner notes?
And I think Nirvana was playing in the background.
Paul Ryan is a big Nirvana fan, I heard.
The vice president dude running
Well,
for,
apparently he said something that ripped off Nirvana.
you know what he's doing? He's trying to appeal to that
He
crowd.
ripped off something that Kurt said, and I don't remember what it was.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
No,
I don't. I think somebody said that before.
He stole that from Neil Young and Def Leppard. Which, this is a funny story. Okay, so they were reading the Kurt Cobain suicide note, and they said, yeah, he quoted Def Leppard from Rock of Ages in his suicide note. And I'm like, what? No, he didn't. They said, yeah, they said it's better to burn out than to fade away. Woo! Dun, 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 dun. I said, no.
Like, bobbing their head and shit?
Yeah, anybody who
Making me
can't
bob my
see
head
this
now.
audio podcast, I was banging my head. And I said, no, that's Neil Young, you fucking idiots. God.
Oh, this is what it was. Did you
Lay it on me, Gatch.
You know when Frances Bean Cobain, right?
Yep. She's like 19 or 20 now.
Yeah, but the middle name Bean, Kurt Cobain was famous for saying she got it because they had
She looked like a bean.
she looked like a bean in utero, right?
Right.
And during one of the vice president debates, Paul Ryan replied to a question about abortion by recalling the story of his own daughter and how she got the nickname Bean, which was the same reason that Kurt Cobain said.
I'm going to have to say that that's probably an odd coincidence
Do
because
you think so?
Paul Ryan,
Yeah, I really don't think
Paul
he was
Ryan's not that hip.
throwing it out there like that.
But his daughter getting the nickname Bean because she looked like that in utero apparently showed how reason and science factor into his views on abortion.
I fucking hate politicians so much. Hi,
That's all
I'm Mitt
going on,
Romney,
though.
and I'd like to send
I
you
just
a
thought it was
message
funny that he
for the
had
presidential
that
candidacy.
he's being accused of stealing lyrics from Nirvana now, but before he said that, Rage Against the Machine was his favorite band, too,
Rape me!
which seems that doesn't make any
I think
sense
a
either.
politician
Well, how
should
old is
use
his daughter?
rape me. Whose daughter? Bean? Cobain?
No, not Cobain.
Francis
Romney Bean?
Romney Bean. I thought it was
Or
Ryan.
no, it was Ryan Bean. Paul Bean Ryan. I do not know.
Well, I would say if the song came out, or that quote, or whatever came out previous to that, there could be some, considering the cat did throw out, the Rage, Love.
Isn't Pat Wambacker's mom?
10.5.
Dude, isn't Pat Wambacker's mom's name Bean? Linda Bean. Linda Bean Wambacher.
Yeah, because she had that old...
No, that's her name. That was her maiden name, was Bean.
I know, but she had that car that Dave used to drive around, that Z.
The Beaner?
And it said Beanie on the license plate.
Yeah, because her name's Bean.
Mm-hmm.
She's been Bean all of her life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's weird. Her name's Bean. Francis
What
Bean.
the fuck are you guys talking
And now check this out.
Oh, sorry.
So this is
Imagine, though, if they were Mexican and they were jumping.
Beaners.
They'd be Mexican jumping beans.
Yep. That's funny. But so segue from that, we do birthdays on our show, and today is the Friday, October 19th show. Grace Wambacher, birthday.
Wow, nice.
That's Pat Wambacker's daughter.
Today is...
How old now?
Pat
Friday?
Yep. Doesn't time fucking flies, doesn't it, man? So yeah, happy Friday to all of you, and happy birthday to
How
Grace
old is she
Wambacher.
now?
She is 5 years younger than my daughter, so what did I say, 22, 17? She's 17.
Wow.
She's 17.
Oh, 17
Time flies.
is a really cool
Pat Wambacker's
flies.
daughter's 17. She's up there in Alaska, hopefully listening to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
I invited her to the Iron Maiden tribute show, even though I knew she wouldn't make
Yeah.
it, just so she'd know what she was missing, because
I
she
know.
would have been there for sure. And also, we cover a couple celebrity birthdays, and I'm glad that Al's here for this. It's Peter Tosh's birthday today.
Really?
Yep, 68. Yeah, man, legalize it, man. That was
What's he
the
doing
only
these
album.
days?
He's probably smoking spliffs and fucking playing some reggae, man.
Man, you know what? I've got a...
And we
What is
talked
it?
about
What, you got
this
a real
dude.
cool what?
And, like...
Reggae
that
story.
cover... That... Oh, no, dude. I got some stories about Jamaica, yo.
You've been to Jamaica?
Fuck yes, son.
Well, Peter Tosh's birthday, let's hear one.
Al, son. Oh, you want to hear a
man.
Jamaica story?
So you
Cool. I
didn't
got
go
one.
there and change your name to Snoop Lion or nothing, did you? Al Lion?
No. Actually, I went there. I had dreadlocks.
Did you have a religious experience of sorts while you're there?
Well, you know what? I did hang out with a lot of Rastas.
Okay.
I met a Rasta on the beach. I was working
awesome.
construction at the time. Dude, I gotta tell this other story though. When I first landed, dude, there's this. I had what the Jamaicans call noble dreads, and that means that I take care of my dreads. I
Right.
spin them. My dreads are round. You
Right.
know, man. Mine are kind of curly and kinky right now, and sometimes they get like that because when I get out of the shower,
You don't.
they curled up.
Yeah.
And I just gotta straighten them and
Right.
work them, man. And I just wanted to get down here. You know, I spent about an hour and a half a night. Spinning
Working
them.
your hair.
Yeah. And so, they call them noble dreads. So I'm standing there in line, man, and there's this other cat right in line beside me, dude. And white dude, dreadlocks. But his are matted and F-worded and nappy, yo.
Yo.
And this little Jamaican dude walks up and goes, red stripe? And the guy was like, yeah, man, I'll take a red stripe because they're free, right? Mm-hmm. And he takes one, and then Jamaican turns and looks at me and goes, hey, Rasta, don't drink out of the cups, and walks away from me. And I was like, don't drink out of the cups? I was like, oh, did they do something dirty to him? And I was like, was he just giving me a fucking heads up, son? And I was standing there in line, and you know what the fuck happened? One of the motherfucking guys
Acid?
came up to me and handed me a Red Stripe bottle. A bottle of Red Stripe that was just open. I was like, what the fuck? So I get on the bus, and I'm all like, oh my God, I smell the dankest shit in the world right now. I was like, oh, I totally smell weed, yo. And the chick I was with is all like, you don't smell weed. I was like, I smell weed. Like, either this bus just hit a motherfucking...
Skunk.
A family, 10 generations of skunks, like, in a row, motherfucking down the... And just ran over their piss pockets one at a time at, like, 5 miles an hour so it would fucking get all over the van.
Or they just ran into an awesome crop of weed.
Very possible.
I just ran over 5 pot plants in a row.
So, I'm like freaking out, and I'm asking all these people getting on the bus, because we're going to a resort. And these people are getting on the bus, and I'm all like, hey, man, you smell weed, right? And they're all like, oh, well, we don't smoke marijuana. And I'm all like, shut. Why the fuck are you in Jamaica, son?
Yeah.
And so I'm all like, I didn't really say that, you know. I'm all like, oh, well, okay. And so, like, we're all sitting there, and I'm, like, thinking, I'm going fucking crazy. Like, I know it. I know I smell it. And then as we're pulling out of the parking lot, I shit you not, we're not even out of the parking lot, man. The bus driver goes, hey, Rasta. And I'm all like, did the look around behind me? And I go, me? And he's like, yeah, come here, man. And I was like, fucking word. And I, like, walk up there, man. And he's like, you looking for some ganja? And I was like, fuck yeah, son. And then he flips down the visor, dude, and like 5 fucking OZs fall down on the fucking thing.
So it was the bus driver the whole time.
And I turned around and I said, I told you, motherfuckers.
We don't smoke marijuana.
I told you. Like, look. And I was like, how much you want, son? Like, this is all just happening. Like, in the open, dude.
Yeah.
And
is it legal over there? No.
At the time when I was there, no.
They just turn a blind eye to it?
No, well, yeah, pretty much.
Kinda.
Yeah, tolerated.
Right, well, they don't fuck around with no coke, though. Like,
No.
I'm not one to either. But, you know, to each his and her own, man.
Right.
But if they see coke, man, they will fuck with you.
Yeah.
Because I seen it on the beach.
Yeah.
I seen them mess with, like, people who were on the resort, dude. Because I'm smoking a spliff on the beach, dude, and they run by me and grab some dude doing a line, yo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, where'd you get this?
They're not fucking around
Like,
with no
tell
cocaine.
us where you got it, and we'll fucking let you go right now. And the guy was like, I got it from that motherfucker right there.
Oh, shit.
I point out the dude, and they went over and bust his ass, man.
Oh, shit.
And left him alone. Like,
Crazy.
yeah. So, I get on, and I'm like, yeah. And I was like, what do you want? And he was like, $60. I said, fuck that, son. I was like, you'll take 60? I'm American, man. You'll take 40. I got 40 American dollars.
For an ounce?
Yeah. I said, for right here, man. And he was like, do it. Which one you want? And I was like, fucking word. I just grabbed one. And as I'm walking back, I'm just inhaling these. Oh, my God. It was like, it was so sticky. The outside of the baggie was like
sticky.
resonating. And I was like, this is insane. And as I'm walking back, I stop in the middle aisle and I look up and I say, does anybody have any papers? And everybody just looks at me like,
We don't smoke
we
marijuana.
don't smoke. And it's so funny. And I walk back and the girl I'm with is like rolling. You know, she's like, thinks this is just fucking awesome. But anyway, the ride to the resort's 4 fucking hours, right? Right?
Yeah.
And so, but luckily we did stop somewhere, and there was these fucking Rosses across the street, like, fishing.
You were about ready to start eating that shit probably at that
Oh,
point.
man. I'll tell you what. I was handling
I know,
it.
you're like,
I was all like, you know what? I wonder if I put some
Sticking-
hash on my fingers. I'm
Yeah.
like, can I light that?
Yeah.
And just like,
Put some-
get
stick
some
a-
little nose hits. I don't know. I was thinking crazy.
Yeah.
But,
Has anybody got an avocado on the bus?
go to these Rastas, and I'm all like, yo, son, like, you got anything to smoke out of? And at first they were like, what? Like, looking at me? Like, who the fuck are you, man? Because they just stopped what they're doing and all staring at me. And I'm all like, oh. And I, like, pull out the weed, and I fucking hold up the bag, and they're all like, oh, yeah, come here. And I was like, cool. So I, like, fucking throw down a wad. I was like, here, that's for you. This is you. And then we get high, and I get on the bus. We zoom back down to the resort. We get there, pull in. The bus driver goes to the bellboy, hey, the Ross is cool. And so we get to the room. Bellboy's like, you got weed? I say, yes, I do, brother. And he's all, you want some hash? I said, fuck, yes. And he was like,
Things are looking up.
right. And he's like, talk to you in like 10, I don't know. He gave me some time. I wasn't even paying attention because I was too busy rolling up what I had. Because, you know, I have my luggage in. I brought like papers. I'm not a fool. Anyway, man. So, like, all of a sudden, man, the phone rings. And the girl I'm with is like, I think this is for you. I said, how do you know that? And she said, they're asking for the Rasta. And I said, word. So I picked it up.
famous here now.
And I said, what's up? And this guy's like, you want some hash? I said, who is this? He said, this is the front desk. And I said, shut the fuck up. I said, yes, I do. I said, bring that shit to my room, yo. So all of a sudden, man, on my door, dude, I open it up. There's this Jamaican dude there, and he's like, Rasta? I say, Rasta? And he was like, welcome in my room, and whips out all of these, like, rolled into circles, dude. Like, as big around as my pinky. Just tinfoil.
Of hash.
Of hash. And I'm all like, those are beautiful. And I was like, it's like you, like, fought, like, a Vietnam against tin soldiers, man, and you cut off their fingers, and you brought them all back, and you're showing them off to me.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't get the reference. But anyway, I said, I'll take this one. And I said, how much is that? And he said, $20. And I said, and here's your money. And so he left. And so, yeah, that was the beginning of the adventure. And it was a topless resort, but nobody was topless.
That's fucking weird.
I know. So, and the girl I was with had her top on. And we're there the first day. And I said, girl.
Show me your tits. No.
Like,
this is a topless resort.
You need to take your top off. And she was like, no. I was like, you know what? If other people didn't have their tops on, would you have your top off? She said, yeah. I was like, well, you know what? I can't pull my fucking pants down. I can't walk around here naked. I would like to do that. Yeah. I love letting my shit just go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not an underwear guy.
Right.
Like, I can't do that because my stuff is always a lefty. I got to pick a side, guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a pant leg tucker.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's there. So.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I can't rock the underwear. Briefs, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want to have a wad of cock on top of my balls.
You have been listening to a classic episode of the Tagcast Podcast. To hear the rest of this or more episodes of the Tagcast Podcast, go to tagcastpodcast.com.